If you don't do anything to change yourself, your reality will stay exactly the same. Oop, I said it. Honestly, in my personal opinion, I think that everyone should have a season of solitude. Just being by yourself, whether that's for, 6 months, a year. That means like no dating. That means like no sex. That means being just like by yourself, giving yourself time alone. So, not saying to exclude yourself from social gatherings with your friends, but giving yourself time to just be by yourself and exist by yourself. The reason why I think that it is so good to just be by yourself is because you literally get to learn more about yourself the more you are alone with yourself. It's similar to the idea of in terms of dating. Like there people say if you want to, you know, do well in dating, you have to date yourself. If you want to show up for your partner in the best way, you have to be able to show up for yourself in the best kind of way. And the only way for you to show up for yourself is to learn about yourself and is to learn, okay, well, this is what I like, this is what I don't like. These are the things that I want, and these are the things that I don't want, and things of that nature. So when you're able to show up for yourself, it creates such a good dynamic and good relationship with yourself. And not only in terms of, for the example of you being able to show up well for other people, but it also, in my case, being alone and figuring out myself and learning about myself, in terms of I've been going to therapy. That's been really beneficial, but I wouldn't have done that if I didn't have my time of solitude and being by myself, because I'm able to recognize the things that I need to work on. I've been able to work on my anxious attachment style, which is, if you don't know what an anxious attachment style is, it is it's a style of attachment that means I become very anxious around certain situations when it comes to, platonic or romantic relationships. And I am worried about abandonment and things of that nature. And by being by myself, I've been able to really work on it with my therapist. I've been able to work on it with myself, kind of talk myself through things. And also, I mean, even people pleasing. The people pleasing issue that I have been able to work on that and figure out like how to just exist and not exist for other people, and how to stand up for myself and how to say no and how to set boundaries. But again, that wouldn't have really been able to come to fruition if I was not alone. Another thing that really actually helps when you're getting to learn more about yourself is the more authentic you are to yourself and the more true you are to yourself, the more you're going to attract the people in your life and experiences and situations that are in alignment with you, that are supposed to be with you. And honestly, that's in itself like the most amazing experience to be able to experience, is to see the work that you're doing on yourself and then see it replicated in your reality and seeing it in your experiences of almost like reaping the rewards. Like, okay, well, I put in the time and I put in the work in myself, and now my reality is mirroring that. And I'm experiencing X, Y, and Z, and they're wonderful. Or I have amazing friends who respect me, who know my boundaries, who are there for me. And that is because you took the time to show up for yourself, to get to know yourself, and now it's being replicated again, like I said, in your reality. All of which really won't happen unless you take the time to have a season of solitude. Because there's plenty of instances, I can even say in my life, where I was running away from myself. I thought that for me to have a different experience and for me to see difference in my life, I thought I had to move to New York. I thought that for me, literally uprooting myself and changing scenery, changing everything, literally everything that I knew, was going to create a result of difference in my life. And in actuality, it forced me to have solitude. It forced me to be alone because I was in a state where I did not have many friends. I was in a state where most of my friends that I did have in Connecticut, in like my hometown and stuff like that, didn't really show up for me the way that I needed. So I ended up losing friends moving to New York, which is fine because, you know, the alignment thing I talked about. And I was just like, I was super depressed. I was super anxious. And I had to face all those things by myself. I had to essentially be forced to learn about myself. And I was forced to face things that I was putting off. And I ended up realizing that I wanted to move to New York for all the wrong reasons. I wanted to move to New York because I was trying to run away from things. And I was trying to run away from myself when in actuality, I needed to just be with myself and to sit with myself. I learned so many things about me and about just like what makes me me and all the things I needed to work on in that 7 to 9 months that I was living there. Swear to God, it was rough. It was really rough. But it was so worth it. Like, it was so worth it. I can say the person that I was when I first moved there to the person that I became, complete difference, like a 180 entirely. The person that I was to the person that I became. It's like, it's such, I would never ever give up that experience for the entire world because it turned me into the person that I was meant to be. But since coming back to Connecticut and since me having that experience, I can say everything has aligned for me in such a beautiful way where I now have people in my circle that really care about me, that, you know, will make the commute to come see me, that will pick up the phone, answer whenever I need. And that's alignment that I've been wanting and needing for my entire life. I have really strong boundaries now. I know when to say no. I know what I like and what I don't like. I am, again, I'm back in therapy. When I was living in New York, I was just like, hell no, therapy doesn't work, this and that, blah, blah, blah. When in actuality, I was just dumb. But yeah, no, the season of solitude is so necessary for development, for becoming the person that you're meant to be, for changing your reality, because without it, if you don't do anything to change yourself, your reality will stay exactly the same. Oop, I said it. Ooh. So if you're comfortable and you're okay with things being the way that they are, then fine. Like, don't look into yourself, don't do the work, don't go on that spiritual journey, don't start journaling, don't, you know, don't get into it, because once you get into it, it's a rabbit hole and you will just continue to fall down it. But on the flip side, oh, look at my nails, aren't they cute? Ooh. On the flip side, the second you do step into that, you will start to notice change and change happening for the better. And it's one of those things where it's like, you will be glad on the flip side of it. Granted, going through it is very difficult, but you will be so, so glad and so happy that you did it, and so gracious that you did it, because the reward on the flip end is like 10 times better than the journey and the process in the middle. Yeah, folks. I just really think that everybody should have a season of solitude, and you should be by yourself in whatever way works for you and what makes sense to you. Because for development, for becoming the person that you're meant to be, it's just one of those things that everyone should just do it at least once in their life. And honestly, you can do it multiple times in your life, and it could be like a set of cycles where you just like are shedding skins, you know, like a snake. Yeah, but that's it, guys. I post new videos every single Monday. I missed last Monday, so sorry, life got in the way, but we're back right on schedule. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I will put my handle for my Instagram right here if you want to become friends on Instagram. Let's be friends. If you want to follow me just for updates, please do that, because that's where I post all my updates for my videos. I hope this video helped in some kind of way. But yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I love you so much. Bye, babe.